Our final award, which was given for the first time just last year, acknowledges the achievements of outstanding promise of a recent graduate. Here to present the Rising Star Award is Ms. Delana Gregg, Assistant Director of the Sondheim Public Affairs Scholars Program.
So I get to give and introduce the award for an outstanding young alum. An alum who's already, just in the few years since he or she has left UMBC, is already a rising star. And that's pretty easy to do because our alumni are pretty amazing. I work for the Sondheim Public Affairs Scholars Program. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Sondheim program, it is UMBC's scholars program that promotes public service. We bring students who are already passionate about the community, passionate about working on social problems together as a group, and then we help nurture them and prepare them to go on after they graduate to help work on those problems they've been studying. And when I think of the Sondheim Scholars Program, I think of Aaron Merki. When I first came to UMBC, he was one of the first Sondheim scholars I met. And I met him with his tireless service to the community, with his exceptional experiences. There's this great story about the internship that Aaron did when he was a junior at UMBC. So he's a junior, he's a college student. He writes a brief while he's working at the Appellate Division of the Maryland Office of the Public Defender. This brief is accepted, written by Aaron, by the Maryland Court of Appeals. In that case, it results in the release of the man in question from serving several additional years of prison time based on what this young man did while he was at UMBC. Of course, Aaron is one of the Sondheim scholars who was mentored personally by Walter Sondheim. The program is named for Walter Sondheim and Janet Sondheim, his wife, and their daughter Ellie is here somewhere. If Ellie could stand up. Ellie Danker is here with her husband Roger. And the reason why I point this out is not only we love to continue that support and that wonderful relationship with the Sondheim family, but Aaron does too. And that's his strength. His strength is in building those personal relationships. So he graduates summa cum laude from UMBC, gets into Maryland Law School with a fabulous fellowship, graduates cum laude. He's offered a position with Venable, one of the top 100 law firms in the country. He's already there working with Fortune 500 companies, litigating. Perhaps more importantly, Aaron founded the Free State Legal Project. The Free State Legal Project, on which he still sits as the vice chair on the board of directors, it's a nonprofit that seeks to provide legal services to low-income lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people in the community. These are people who face discrimination in employment, housing, in receiving social and medical services. They face brutality with the police, victimization by their family and peers, especially a group that I know Aaron is passionate about serving, LGBT youth. Especially transgendered youth suffer some of the greatest abuses, being ostracized by their families and communities. His work was recognized by the National LGBT Bar Association. His leadership and service to the community, one of only 2 people who received that award. I mentioned Aaron's strength is his devotion to people. He cares deeply for people in need, for his friends, for his family, for his mentors. He's continually nurturing those connections. He celebrates births with us. He mourns loss with us. He always reaches out to help the program and reach out to help UMBC students. Aaron was featured in the University of Maryland magazine thusly. As the son of a minister, Aaron calls his childhood an education in compassion and respect for all people. He says that his faith and his belief that all people are equal, regardless of any differences, are what propel him toward a career in equality and social justice. Aaron Merki truly lives his life in service to others. Aaron Merki.
Well, it's a homecoming, and UMBC is really a place that I consider one of my homes. It's a place where so many of us grew up, started to figure out who we are and who we want to be. Some of us are still trying to figure that out. UMBC did such a good job at preparing me for law school and to go to a major law firm as I burn the midnight oil many nights and I feel my firm-issued BlackBerry buzz late at night, I'm torn between thinking to myself, thank you, UMBC, for preparing me for a world of opportunity, and UMBC, what have you done? But really, I wouldn't be who I am and who I'm becoming without this institution, without the mentorship of Freeman Herbowski, without the mentorship of Dr. Roy Myers, who led the Sondheim Scholars Program for so many years, and has just stepped down from that position and has been a mentor like no other to so many countless UMBC graduates. Thank you to Dr. Myers. I'd like to recognize some of my friends here. Alicia Wilson, my best buddy, who got this honor last year. My partner, Paul Pinot, my parents, Steve and Diane Merki, our longtime friend, Cassie Watson, my dear Susan Leviton, who taught me at law school, and Judge Susan Galvey, who I did my clerkship with, and Donna Cowan, who I spent a year with in Judge Galvey's chambers and probably taught me more than anyone else in the room. Thank you all for coming. There's one person who can't be here tonight, and that's Walter Sondheim. And Ellie and Roger are here tonight. Ellie's Walter's daughter, and Walter passed away a few years ago, but some of us were lucky enough to have him as a mentor, both Alicia and I. And he is he's definitely my personal, what I took from UMBC most. He taught us, I think, the greatest lessons, and he was a role model like no other I think I'll ever have in my life. A man who desegregated Baltimore City schools after Brown v. Board was handed down within weeks after that decision, when no other school district in the country agreed to move on that. It took many, many years, as some of you know, after that decision was handed down for blacks and whites to integrate across the country or in the South. He cared about people more than anyone I ever met. And Alicia and I still say, I think sometimes, Walter's who we want to be like when we grow up. And I suppose that's what this Rising Star Award is all about offering just one example of what UMBC alumni are growing up to be. So I'm very honored and humbled to be that person tonight. Thank you.